I don't know why I did that. What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is Whiskey Happens. I'm Travis Martin.
I'm Garrett Johnson. Travis, what are we discussing today?
Something I'm really excited about, actually. Even though that didn't sound like I was excited, I'm actually really excited.
Not at all.
I'm excited about this. So today we're going to talk to you guys about what the hell you might bring to a party. If someone invites you to a party, what kind of bourbon are you going to bring? Garrett?
I like this subject matter because I've never really thought about it. It's something, the first thing I'm going to talk about is something that I instinctively have done throughout time.
Yeah.
And Travis, you probably already know about this.
You
already know about this, but it is John J. Bowman, single barrel from A. Smith Bowman, distant cousin of Buffalo Trace. But I think it's just a great single barrel. Do you remember your first time drinking this? Or do you remember when I gave it to you? How about that?
Yeah, that's the thing. So you gave it to me when we were in Austin. Never had it before. You were like, I'm bringing you a bottle. It's my favorite stuff on the shelf right now. You got to try it. And I was like, oh, okay. And we get it in Texas. But normally it's Bowman Brothers or the port finish or one of the other. We also get the rum sometimes. Very seldom do we get John Jay. So I was really excited that you actually brought that, my way. But it's an interesting topic because, I get asked a lot from people at work who find out that I love bourbon. I'm into bourbon, and we do this whole shindig that we do. And they always ask me like, what should I bring? I'm going to a party. I really want to bring bourbon. And I always ask them, I'm always like, is it something that you want to bring that you enjoy, or is it something like you have friends who are into bourbon? And so what do you think about that though? Like if you were bringing something for someone who's really into bourbon, would it change your perspective?
It does and it does not. I try to think of a situation of I know a friend or I know you. There's nothing I'm going to bring you that's going to be something not to impress you, but it'd be something to have a moment versus a party or gathering of friends or strangers.
Yep.
Might be something more a bottle for the people, if you will.
Yep.
And those are my two discerning factors into it. I don't know if you have such a register or how you determine what you're going to bring people.
For me, it's like when I go to a party, I bring something that I know would go kind of with everything. So like Michter's. Michter's is an easy drinker, something super palatable for most palates to try because it's coming in at around 84, 85 proof. It's not super harsh. And I like to bring a rye a lot of times because ryes go really well with mixed drinks. So like if I'm making a mixed drink or if someone does want it neat or maybe on the rocks, a rye is really the kind of a mellow point that you can do. Now, that being said, I don't always bring ryes because some people just don't like ryes, but I like a rye and I think it goes well with a lot of different things. But along that same avenue, Garrett, what do you think is something else that you could bring for maybe, I don't know, for a group that is maybe not into bourbon, so they're not going to drink it neat?
Well, I'm glad you asked, and thanks for the setup there. Because I'm in the same vicinity as you. I'm thinking if I'm going to a party, people aren't going to be drinking things neat, or they aren't really bourbon drinkers, so they're more of the cocktail, the Jack and Coke, Beam and Coke, what have you. I would bring something like Benchmark. This is the full proof, 125 proof.
Yeah.
This is something I think will go great in a cocktail. I don't think I've ever had it neat before. However, I would probably try it. I tasted it. Obviously, we had the video, but I don't ever go to it neat myself. Now, I say this because, Travis, do you think a high proof bourbon is the wrong move? 125 proof is something that I'm like okay with. However, I'm going to a party. Yes, some people could choose to make this in a cocktail. Other people might not know what to do with it. So is bringing high proof bourbon a faux pas?
I don't know if it's a faux pas. It's tough because, you think about it is if people aren't into high proof bourbon or just, I look at it like this. You go to a party and a lot of people might be drinking vodka, gin, rum. None of them are going to be high proof. For the most part, they're not even going to be close to what 125 proof is. So you might scare some people off with that. That being said, you also might have a really fun time because you're getting people to try different bourbons and at a different proof level. And then it helps them decide what proof they're in. They might taste it and go, ooh, no. Like I have people that come over and they're like, oh, I like bourbon. I'm really into it. And, I've tried some really strong stuff. I'll ask them the proof and then I'll give them a give them a taste of that Old Forester 134 proof. And that will light you on fire. It's a great taste, but it's super high proof. So
yeah, it's funny you bring that one up because just was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I was passing through in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Saw Old Forester single barrel. And I passed on it. I was just like, nope, I had the one at Travis's house, not messing with that again.
Yeah.
However, I did text Travis and Spooky and was like, hey guys, this is here. Again, it was a store pick. And I was like, just because I shouldn't pass it up on for friends and family.
But that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Store picks, that kind of goes to my second topic of what to bring for me. I tend to bring store picks to people just because, especially if it's if I'm going, I'm here locally in Texas, I want people to get used to the areas around you in these, different shops that have different bourbon. And so I'll bring a store pick. Right now I've got the Buffalo Trace store pick. It doesn't have to be Buffalo Trace, but a store pick gets you, might get people to go into that store and try different bourbons or just try the store in general. And I think it's a great way to get immersed in who's around you to understand, to help you as well. Because I'm not always going to be around to answer questions from my friends about everything. But, what about allocated bottles, Garrett? Like, do you think those should be brought to parties?
I think you can, and you can, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that I think allocated bottles are fun. Yeah. And it's great if you want to share them with your friends. However, I think if I was going to a friend's house that is full of non-bourbon drinkers, it isn't so much, I don't want to share it with them because they won't appreciate it. It's more of, I don't want to set an expectation that you're going to, whatever bottle, let's just say Weller 107. You're going to love it. You're going to be like, oh, this is the best bottle whatsoever. We never touch base on it. You run out the next day and buy it for $120, thinking that you found a great allocated bottle and unaware that you're paying nearly double the price for it.
Yep.
So I think as far as introducing people to allocated bourbon, there is a responsibility that comes with it. I've also talked to another friend where she was at a house and she was telling me or she sent me a picture of all this bourbon. He was like, yeah, this cost me $3,200, this whatever. And this person really thinks that those are the prices for the bottles.
Wow.
They are unaware that they are even buying secondary bottles. And I know that might sound funny to bourbon drinkers or everyone watching that, you're well-versed enough to you're watching our YouTube channel. Thank you.
Yeah.
To like and subscribe. Heart. But Travis, what do you feel about allocated bottles at a party? What's your take on it?
My take is it just depends on the group. It's kind of like you said. I agree with you. You have to read the room and understand who's going to be there. And should you bring an allocated bottle? For me, it depends on what's allocated as well. Like people come over to the house and they can have a taste of anything that's open. Anything. And even if it's not open, if it's something I've been wanting to open and people want to try it, I'll open it. So I don't have a problem opening allocated bottles. Bringing them, similar to what you said, it's tough because if they love it and they can't find it, what did you just do? You introduced them to something they can't get, and that's no fun. And so for me, I try to bring bottles that are attainable, easily obtainable in the area so that they can go and get more of them, or bring them a bottle that and explain to them, this might be an allocated bottle, but here's the comparison. So if you want to bring an allocated bottle, bring the allocated bottle, bring the comparison, let them try the allocated, but then say, hey, this is the same similar mash bill and you can find it readily available. And then that might be a different way to handle it. But really, Garrett, like in my opinion, allocated bottles are just one of those things that you share with anybody that wants to try it, but you kind of give them the warning up front because it's tough to find sometimes. So
I do agree. And, not saying, just like Travis said, you come over, let's run through this stuff,
Yep.
And most anyone that's ever been here to my humble apartment knows I am going to put you through a flight and you're going to get to taste things. There's only one bottle I even have that I'm like, just ask me before you get into it. More than likely because I'm going to have a pour two. And then two, I'm just running out of it and I'm never going to get another one.
I already know what that is.
Maybe so.
Friggin' gingerbread.
Yes. Yeah. It's the one thing I coveted. And it's not even it's not even allocated. It's just a limited edition type thing.
Yeah.
And I've appreciated it ever since it touched my lips.
Yep.
But other than that, it's fun opening bottles with your friends. It's fun talking about bourbon with your friends, or at least I have fun talking about bourbon with my friends. So it's just one of those things of, or actually, I wanted to go back to one thing. I think if you don't know what to get, Travis, how many times have you asked a store clerk, hey, what's good? What do you have in?
Yeah.
Or where are your store picks?
All the time. And that's the thing. Like if you don't know and you don't have a friend who's really into bourbon, go ask the guys at the stores. Like Garrett said, they will always give you their opinion. And like I just said, it's an opinion. It's everyone's opinion. You could take a store pick and it'd be absolute. You could take a bottle and it could be absolute garbage. No one likes it. And that's okay. It is what it is. It's subjective. Just the main thing I agree with you, Garrett, is bourbon's made to enjoy and with friends and have a good time. You guys are coming here shortly. We're going to enjoy a lot of bourbon together. Sure. And so I'm super excited about that. Got a bunch of friends coming in. So that's what it's all about, guys. Make sure you're doing that. Drink responsibly. Make sure that, you guys are thinking about that. But, I love bourbon. He loves bourbon. Get people who love bourbon. It's not that hard. Just find that sweet spot.
And always remember, it doesn't matter if you like it neat, on the rocks, or in a Coke. Whiskey happens.
Cheers.
Cheers.